Hi class, this is Russ. So for Module 2, you're going to be tasked with having to build a graphical user interface, GUI or GUI, for your account application that you developed in Module 1. And I thought I'd show you a pretty cool way of how you can use Eclipse to implement your graphical user interface application. So do this. Go into your Eclipse, and in this case, I'm using Eclipse Mars. So I'm going to do it specifically for Eclipse Mars. Go to Help, and then go to, let's see, install new software. Okay, and then work with. The work with, what you want to do is in my case, since I'm using Mars, we want to use um, releases for Mars, and you'll see this pending um, checkbox. So basically, what's going on here is that it's going out on the internet and looking for relevant packages for this particular installation of Mars. You may have a different uh, view based on the type of eclipse that you're working with. So it takes a couple of minutes, so we'll wait a couple of minutes for this box to populate. I have a slow internet connection and a slow laptop, so be patient. Okay, and so here are the available packages that we can install for Linux. Now, in this case, um, what you want to do is you want to go to General Purpose Tools. So select General Purpose Tools, and actually you don't want to select everything. And in here you want to look for the swing packages in the WindowBuilder application. So they're not here. They're not listed here, but they may be listed in your drop down because I've already installed them. So when I come over here to this question right here, what is already installed, you'll see that I have the SWT designer as well as GWT, but we're not doing GWT. So install SWT and the WindowBuilder um, packages. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so packages. It depends on what you're working with. So you'll check these here. Um, and since I don't have I've already installed them and I have the latest releases, I don't need to proceed. But once you check them, then you just go ahead and acknowledge them, any licenses, and then proceed to install. It may take several minutes for the packages to register with Eclipse, and you'll have to restart Eclipse after you install these particular packages. Okay, so anyway, the next thing you want to do is the work to be done. So we'll start a new Java project, and we'll call it, say, account demo. And you don't have to do it this way. These are just some thoughts that I have on things that you can try. And so I'll go to Browse, my home folder. What is this? This is my documents. And then I want to go to 372, mod 2, and program is where I'll stick it. Okay, so this will be my project name in this folder. Next, okay, and then I'll just default everything else out. Okay, all right. Uh, so basically, we will be working with the classes, the bank, what is it, the bank account and checking account classes that you developed in Module 1. So I'll go ahead and import those classes because we're going to be building a, a graphical user interface around those classes. So instead of a character-based output interaction with the program, we'll have this graphical user interface. So let me go here and program. So this will be the folder. And I don't want to incorporate the driver. I just want the bank account and checking account classes. Right, so finish. So those two classes are imported. And now what I want to do next is have another driver. So this new Java class. Okay, well in this case, what we really want is not new class, but other. Okay, and when you select other, you'll see the WindowBuilder folder pop up, and you want to go into Swing Designer, and you want basically a JFrame. and we'll call this application demo frame. Okay, so we do that, and then so what happens is here's it actually generates the code that you'll need, and and here's your main, and then here's your instance of your frame, your J frame. It extends J frame just like in your notes. So, but what's really nice is that if you go to if you click on this tab right here and you go into design mode, then you'll have a GUI where you can drag and drop components like buttons and labels and so forth, all the different controls. So, so I'll give myself some real estate to work with it. It's kind of cramped on this tiny monitor because this is a laptop. But anyway, okay, so this is our frame. And what can we do here? Okay, so as far as layout goes, what I would suggest is using an absolute layout. Okay, don't use any of these border layouts that I think they use in the notes because it's kind of deprecated, or it's kind of like this box layout. They're kind of old. The absolute layout is really nice in that you can position elements on the frame without having to struggle too much. So for instance, so here's my content pane. I guess we could put a label. So we could put a J label here and see how I click on J label, and then I drag up to my GUI and I just kind of center it here, and then I can put text in, like I can put, say, like module 2, or we can just do account demo mod 2, okay, or something like this. Okay, that's basically the title of the application. And of course I can resize my label, okay, like so. You can probably align the text in the center. There are it doesn't give you the complete list of properties, or it may, but show advanced properties, vertical align. Yeah, okay, so I clicked on advanced properties, tab border. And you have all of these different, kind of like working with Excel, or if you've ever used with, or Access, if you've ever used one of those GUI builders. Okay, I'm just looking at the different properties. Okay, so you can set, like, if you want to change the background color and so forth, you can do that. That's the background color, the foreground color. Perhaps if you wanted to do something like that. Okay, so you have green fonts and so forth. So you can play around with this, see if you can come up with anything. And then if you want a button, for instance, a J button. Okay, so click on button, and then you can drag your button over here. And so you can give the text, you could say exit program. So I clicked on the ellipsis bar, it brings up the string editor, so I can go exit program. Okay, and then now, if I come over to my graphical, you can kind of line up here. Okay. Center. I went to horizontal alignment type center. Okay, kind of. Okay. Now, if I double click on this button, it'll bring me to the callback, which is basically the action that happens when you click on the program, on the button, that is. So So in this case, the action performed, which you'll study in your notes, your lecture notes. And the only thing we want to do is system dot exit 0. So that's how we escape from the program. Okay, and let's see here. I think we can give our frame a title too. I'm not sure if this works, but we can try. No, we can't do that. I guess we have to go set title, right? I think it's frame dot set what title? Looking for the API. Set state, set type, set title. There we go. And we can go banking account. Okay. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So let's run it. And there we go. So, oops, looks like the exit program got a little bit truncated. But this is our frame, and this is our logic. So now what remains to be done is to integrate your class code, these class codes with an appropriate user interface. So over the next couple of video lectures, I'll try and have something to give to you in that regard. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, feel free to post, or if I've made any mistakes, which I'm prone to do, please let me know.